Roman Reigns made his big return to SmackDown this week, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also see what Naomi is saying, update on The Undertaker, and much more. Let's start things off with the return of Roman Reigns. Roman is now considered to be a special attraction. He no longer appears every week, so we see him on a more limited basis now. But the entire bloodline comes out to the ring to address the Summerslam main event of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match. The obvious obstacle with this SummerSlam main event is that WWE has to try to sell the fans on a match that we've seen nearly 10 times already over the last few years. Paul Heyman did his usual great work to sell everyone on the match. He explained that SummerSlam will be different this time around, because it's going to require a new side of Roman Reigns that we've never seen before. He explained how Roman would have to dig down deep to find the most violent version of himself for this match. Heyman also said that pinning Brock Lesnar for 3 seconds is one thing, but this last man standing match will require Roman Reigns to keep Brock Lesnar down for a full 10 seconds. It was a great point by Heyman. You basically have to knock Brock Lesnar for a full 10 count. Obviously, no quick roll-up or anything like that will work in this specific match. You really have to take things to the next level to fully take your opponent out in order to win. There were a few fan criticisms about the Bloodline SmackDown appearance. One of the things fans were talking about was obviously the sense of repetitiveness with this segment. And again, that's understandable for the fans to get that feeling, because we've been seeing Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in a feud with each other non-stop since last year's SummerSlam. So we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of this specific Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar feud. Plus, if you throw in all their other previous matches dating back to 2015, it's definitely understandable to get the feeling that you've seen all this before, because you most definitely have. So some fans did point out how it's a bit off to see Paul Heyman still playing the same role and being scared and unsure about Roman Reigns being able to defeat Brock Lesnar or not. That's exactly how Paul Heyman has acted since August 2021, but obviously, a lot has happened since last summer. Roman defeated Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel and defeated him in the main event of WrestleMania 38. Roman has scored 2 pinfall wins over Brock Lesnar within the last year. So you would think that those wins will give Paul Heyman's character more confidence in Roman Reigns to defeat Brock Lesnar again, but he doesn't really act like that. He almost is acting as if Brock Lesnar has won their last 2 meetings, which isn't true. So that's one fair criticism that the fans have brought up. Paul Heyman should have a bit more confidence in Roman Reigns now in current day compared to last summer, and even in early 2022. Roman has proven himself. A lot of other fans have also expressed how it would be nice to have Roman Reigns back full-time again on SmackDown to just keep the story flowing consistently all the time. It's a little bit harder to invest in the bloodline now since Roman Reigns makes limited appearances. So it's a story that will start and then we'll basically have to go on hold until whenever Roman's next appearance will be. Another big story surrounding Roman Reigns is obviously Theory and the Money in the Bank contract, which WWE is not shying away from at all. They're already having Theory and Roman Reigns slowly begin to interact and start those mind games up. Theory ran out on SmackDown to jog around the ring and basically introduce himself and the threat of getting cashed in on to Roman Reigns. And this is something we've talked about before. Roman has never had to deal with the threat of getting cashed in on during this single entire reign. The 2020 and 2021 Money in the Bank contracts were both used against the Raw WWE champion. So for nearly 700 days as champion, Roman never had to deal with this threat. So it is a new obstacle for him to now think about and deal with. WWE is heavily teasing the idea that we could expect to see at least a cash-in attempt from Theory at SummerSlam. It's been a popular fan theory since before the winner was crowned. Fans just felt like whoever won the Money in the Bank contract would probably play a big role in the closing moments of SummerSlam. Like Paul Heyman said, Roman and Brock are going to take things to new levels to knock each other out for a full 10 count. So both men will be fully exhausted by the end of the match. So if it's Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns who's standing tall at the end of the last man standing match as champion, the winner is going to have to instantly snap back into it and have their head on a swivel for Theory. A lot of fans think Theory's cash-in may be a failed one, but on the other hand, WWE is obviously fully in on going all the way with Theory. Theory has this theme going on of being the youngest to accomplish all these big WWE wins. He was the youngest United States champion in history, youngest Money in the Bank winner in history, and if he does successfully cash in sometime soon, he'll be right up there with Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton as one of the youngest WWE World Champions in history. But the rumored main event for Clash at the Castle is still expected to be Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. So maybe Brock nor Theory will be walking out of SummerSlam as champion. But as always, you can never say never. There's been a few small developments continuing to unfold with the Sasha Banks and Naomi situation. After the report came out that they were removed from the internal WWE roster, Naomi took to Twitter to post this message, quote, "Built, not bought, earned, not given, hustled, not handed, rare, not average," end quote. As far as Sasha Banks goes, there was another hint for her being done with WWE. WWE is one of the big partners of the Peacock streaming service. Peacock users can select to have their avatar profile pictures as WWE superstars. The 3 WWE options for avatar profile pictures used to be only Asuka, Roman Reigns, and Sasha Banks. Well, Sasha Banks' avatar option on Peacock has now been fully removed from the streaming service. Her avatar picture is no longer an option on Peacock, and if you previously had her profile picture selected, you now have a regular default Peacock avatar on your profile, which again is another sign that Sasha and WWE have officially parted ways. So everyone is starting to accept the fact that Sasha and Naomi have parted ways with WWE. However, there's still no confirmation on the releases from WWE's side. The Undertaker closed out his WWE Hall of Fame speech by saying the line, "Never say never." No one knew what Undertaker was specifically saying, but everyone assumed that he was obviously saying "never say never" to the idea of having another match. Undertaker recently spoke with Bleacher Report to clear up what he meant with that line. He had this to say, quote, "You never say never. I don't have aspirations of ever stepping into the ring again, but this is the WWE, man. You never say never. You just never say never," end quote. So Undertaker is making it clear that he's not actively looking for another match in WWE, but if something arises, it sounded like he would at least consider it. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.